Welcome to the YWCA Hartford Region 2021 Week Without Violence. This year, Week Without Violence is taking place October 18th through the 23rd. Week Without Violence is part of a global movement with YWCAs across the country and around the world to end violence against women and girls. At YWCA, we know that not all violence is acknowledged or responded to equally, and that some victims go unrecognized altogether. For more than 20 years, YWCA has set aside 1 week in October as Week Without Violence to share information and uplift stories and advocate with a common goal in mind. Together, we can end gender-based violence. This year, under our theme, Beyond Resilience, from surviving to thriving, we want to recognize the journey that survivors are on. Recognizing that when it comes to the different forms of gender-based violence that women endure, that the journey doesn't stop at surviving, that thriving is an option and is a hopeful part of our future. An essential part of thriving when moving past the experiences and the traumas associated with gender-based violence includes meditation and holistic healing. So to guide us in some tools and techniques that can support our mental wellness and help us incorporate wholeness into our daily routine, we have with us Sara Balkun of Toivo. Sara, take us a little further.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored to be here. What a special mission to be a part of.
Thank you for being with us.
Yeah, thank you so much. My name is Sara Balkun, and I am the Holistic Health Coordinator for Toivo. Toivo is a peer-run holistic healing and stress management center located in Hartford, Connecticut. And we believe very deeply at Toivo that no one should be denied access to the benefits of holistic healing practices like meditation, like yoga and qigong, based on socioeconomic standing, history with mental illness, or struggle with addiction. We have a studio in Hartford where we offer a wide variety of classes, workshops, and support groups. All of our classes are donation-based, so you come as you are, you give what you can, and you take what you need. We also have a wide variety of online offerings where you can tune in and take a class on our Facebook page, or you can join one of the many Zoom classes that we have. Toivo also spends quite a bit of time working out in the community, and we work to bring our holistic healing practices to schools, to shelters, to nursing homes, to psychiatric units and rehabilitation centers across Connecticut. If you're interested in learning more about Toivo, we would love to connect with you, and you can visit us at our website, www.toivocenter.org. Okay, before we dive into this practice, I want to just share a little bit about myself and why these practices are so near and dear to my heart. I spent a very long time living in survival mode, living in a fight or flight response. The experiences that I had in my life left me with this underlying belief that I was simply unworthy. I felt unworthy of love, of support. I felt unworthy of security, financial stability, connection to myself and to others. And over time, I really began to feel unworthy of life. This underlying belief dictated what I felt in my body. It dictated every thought that I had about myself and about other people. And it affected every action that I took in the world. And I was constantly finding myself in situations that were validating that I was unworthy. And I really got to a point where that thread that was really holding everything together felt very, very thin. And there was a choice there. And within that choice, I began to really seek out anything that would bring some kind of life into my being. In that search, I found the practice of yoga and meditation. I've also had the pleasure of experiencing this connection to sound and nature and creative art processes. And these practices have been the tools that have allowed me to slowly begin to peel away that which was toxic and to create space for truth, to create space for an ability to move past just surviving and into thriving. The truth is that I am worthy, and so are you. We all are. We're all born this way. And so it has become my life's mission and joy to share these tools with others so that together, it's a lifelong practice, together we can shift from simply surviving to thriving. Okay. So what are we doing in the next hour? You don't need anything very special to join. I'm going to ask that if you have a piece of paper and a writing utensil, that you'll grab that and find yourself in a comfortable space to sit. It could be on the ground. It could be in a chair. You could be on a couch. I don't want you to worry too much about what you don't have, and I want you to just use what you have and know that that's enough. This is a practice all in itself, isn't it? Once you have your materials and you find that nice spot to sit, I want you to just take a moment and put that paper in front of you, put that pen or that pencil in front of you. And I want you to just take a moment to know that everything that is offered here is just an option. You're going to take responsibility for keeping yourself safe. You know your body best. You have your own connection to your nervous system. So you take what you need, you use my voice as a guide, and you leave the rest. I also want to remind you that everything offered here is a tool that you can use to come back to yourself, to understand what it feels like to be grounded to the earth, to understand where your body is in space. They're practices and tools that you can use to begin to understand what a sense of safety feels like in your body, what it feels like for the nervous system to shift from fight or flight into a rest and digest state. This rest and digest state is the state where healing occurs. It's the starting point for us to make those really honest observations about where we are, right? It's really hard to make good choices about where we want to go if we're not quite sure where we've started. And so these practices give us a really good foundation to do that. Know that as we practice, all kinds of sensations can arise. Feelings of peace and calm are often associated with meditation and breath work. But sometimes there are spaces within us that need to move through the body. So if you experience tension, tightness, anxiousness, fear, anger, all of those things are a part of you, and we're just going to hold space for them. This is so much of the practice. It's just letting what needs to rise, rise, and letting what's ready to fall, fall. We're creating space for truth. The truth that you have infinite potential in this life. You are more than your story. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll start with a little bit of writing, intention setting, bringing awareness to our environment. We'll do a little bit of movement, a little bit of breath work, and then we'll settle into that meditation. Okay. So finding that comfortable space, I want you to take that pen in your hand. And for a moment, I want you to just look around the room. Look at your space. Notice the walls around you. Notice the floor beneath you. Can you feel where your body touches the ground? Maybe it's the feet. Maybe it's the hips. Can you drop your weight a little bit heavier? Notice the ceiling. Maybe there are windows and doors that you'd like to just bring your awareness to. So you're just noticing your space. And this is a really good tool to use if you're ever feeling disconnected from the present moment, disconnected from yourself. To just notice your space, the walls, the ceiling, the floor. Now take a moment to just notice a couple objects in the room. Really simple. Pillow, plant. Can you notice a couple colors? Wonderful. Now take a moment and just notice any sounds that you hear. You might notice sounds that are far away. You might notice sounds that are closer. And we're just noticing. Some things in our environment we can control, right? The lighting sometimes, maybe the temperature if you're at your own space. But some things are uncontrollable, some noises. And so we help to control the things that we can to set a safe space. And the other things, those distractions, we just bring awareness to them. And then we shift our focus back. Beautiful. Take a moment, just notice the temperature in the room. How do you feel in your body? How does the air feel on your skin? And just gently swallow a few times. Notice if there's any taste or texture in the throat. And this is not only a nice practice to take that allows you to understand what it is that you're tasting, that tapping into the sense of taste, but swallowing actually relaxes the throat, gentle stimulation to the vagus nerve that can help us switch into a rest and digest state. So just swallow a few times. For some of you, this may seem hard or difficult, and that's okay. Just be patient. Each little component is a practice to take over a period of time, not to accomplish or perfect in one sitting. Beautiful. Now, when you're ready, I want you to take that pen, and on your paper, I want you to write an intention for this time. What is it that you hope for yourself? And I don't want you to hold back here. I want you to let yourself dream, because the truth is that you are infinite potential. And so what is it that you want for yourself? Maybe it feels better to start small. Maybe you'd like to find a connection to the breath in this class. Maybe you would like to find a sense of calm or to meet yourself honestly. But maybe there's something greater that you're hoping for your life. You can write down one thing, you can write down many. Feel the pen in your hand. Feel it to the paper. Just a steady flowing breath, nothing to force in or out. Just writing out those intentions. And they might not be so clear right now, But just taking the time to do this is setting the stage for us to get clear on what we want in life. If we don't know what we want, it's hard to make good choices and move in the direction of that highest intention. So this is such a good starting place. Just take a few more minutes here and write down what it is that you'd like for yourself. What are you dedicating the breath, the movement, and the mindfulness to? Wonderful. I have one more question for you. And if it feels good to write it down, write it down. I want you to think about what makes you feel safe. What makes you feel safe? This could just be a list, right? This could be a memory that you have of a time that you felt really safe. Maybe it's an actual practice, or right? Where do you feel safe? What is it that makes you feel safe? I want you to write as many down as you can think of. And I'm asking you this because while I'm offering you specific tools and specific modalities that have worked in my life and I have seen work in other people's lives, it's not so much the modality that matters as it is understanding what makes you in your unique body with your experiences, your truth of who you are, what makes you feel safe. Because it's from that place that we'll be able to move towards our highest potential. Take a few more moments there. Wonderful. And you can always come back to these, right? This doesn't have to be the end of the list, especially with the intentions. It's really nice to write them down. And then as you get more clear on what it is that you want for your life, you can really revise and edit and let yourself change and grow. And again, this is a practice all in itself, giving yourself permission to change and grow. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a little bit of movement. I wanted to offer you an opportunity to explore a little bit of movement before we settle into the breath and the meditation, because movement is such a great catalyst for meditation, right? It helps to release any excess energy that we have that would maybe keep us from settling into a state of stillness. So this movement part is really wonderful and really important to the practice and just to the physical health of the body and for the nervous system. So let's start in the wrists. I want you to just circle out the wrists. Right? And you're just breathing normal. You don't have to focus on the breath just yet. Circle out those wrists. You might have to welcome some pops and some creaks. So much of what we're going to do here is a practice in non-judgment, right? I could feel, I should feel, and let yourself just feel what it is that you're feeling. And know that that's perfect, that that is the practice. Okay? Maybe a little squeeze and release of the fingers. Nice. And then wherever you are, take your hands down your legs, and you're only going as far down the legs as you can reach comfortably. You're just giving a little rub, palms to legs. Sometimes when we are in a state of fight or flight, we can lose connection or sensation in the limbs. So this is really nice to bring awareness to the lower part of the body and even build a little energy and heat in the hands. Nice. And there's something really powerful about providing a gentle touch. So it doesn't have to be hard. It can be very soft. Beautiful. If you can reach the feet, you can even massage down the feet. Beautiful. And then go ahead and calm the hands, and we'll find just a little movement in the shoulders, up to the ears, back and down. Beautiful. And you could start really small. Remember, you're just using me as a guide. So if your body doesn't look like mine or it's not moving in the same way, that's perfect. It's perfect. Okay, maybe do one at a time. If you are sitting on the ground or in the chair and the legs become uncomfortable at any point, just alternate the position, right? Take what you need. You don't want to sacrifice one part of the body for another. Let's try the other shoulder. These movements are really simple, but they're really profound in effect. Right? Loosening tension in the joints and giving us a moment to come back to the body. Beautiful. Maybe take a few rolls forward. Very nice. You're sitting up as tall as you can, but nothing to force too much. Very nice. And one more time, we'll roll back. I know for a very long time, I spent a lot of time hunching over. I was always looking down. And so this very simple movement of taking the shoulders up to the ears, back, opening the heart was really important. It helped me lift my gaze. Maybe it'll do the same for you. Okay, go ahead and let the shoulders relax. We're going to take ear to shoulder. It doesn't matter what side. We'll make our way to both. And you're just letting the shoulder or letting the ear drop to the shoulder. You're really reaching out through the top of the head and let your shoulders move down the back. Very nice. Come on up, other side. You might notice that it feels good to close the eyes as you move, but you also might notice that closing the eyes doesn't feel very safe. So you're going to really do what feels right. Beautiful. And come back to center. And then we'll take a little half circle forward, just rolling ear to ear. And again, you're just breathing naturally. And you might notice here, you might start to notice your breath. Right? Does the breath feel shallow, constricted? Or does it feel free flowing into the body? Beautiful. And come back up. Now I want you to keep your head right where it is. You're just going to take your eyes over to one side. Doesn't matter the side. And I want you to just take a breath here. Let the eyes come back to center. Over to the other side. And back to center. And take the eyes up to the ceiling. Head stays right where it is. And back to center. Beautiful. I like to do these eye movements because what happens over time, right, is that we get into these patterns, and we have patterns within the body as well, within the circuitry of the body. And taking the eyes in different directions can start to create new pathways in the brain. It's really quite interesting. Okay, so those are just really simple movements. If you're in a chair, you might want to roll out your ankles or maybe take one leg out. Once you start moving the body, you can really start to feel into, okay, now I feel like I need to move here. Give yourself permission to really listen to what it is that your body needs before you ask it to settle into stillness. We're going to do one more practice that I'm going to guide you through, and this is called the squeeze and release. So what you're going to do is you're going to kind of take your hands up like this, keep them kind of hovering over the legs. And I want you to just start to squeeze the body. So squeeze the feet, squeeze the legs, squeeze the glutes, the belly, chest, shoulders, arms, neck, maybe face, scrunches up. Take a breath. Release. Let the hands relax. We're going to do that just 2 more times. This is, again, a really nice way to release any excess energy that we have. This is really wonderful. I've noticed in my own life, like if I'm feeling frustrated, right, this helps to release some of that tension. So let's try that again. We're going to take a deep breath in as we contract, squeezing from the tips of the toes all the way up to the top of the head. Let your face become funny, scrunch it up. And relax. Beautiful. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, squeeze. Hold the breath, hold that squeeze. And whenever it feels right, let it go. Beautiful. So you may notice that simply rolling out the body is enough. You may notice that squeezing and releasing is enough. If you still feel like you have a lot of excess energy, you can always shake it out, right? You can shake the whole body, turn some music on that you really like, and let yourself dance it out. Get your body moving. It doesn't have to look a certain way. It's all about how it feels. Again, what makes you feel like you're moving that excess energy out of the body? Wonderful. Next, we're going to move into a really simple breathing practice. I'll take you through a few different breaths. But we're going to start here with what's called a 3-part breath. Now, if you can, unless I tell you otherwise, try to breathe in and out through your nose. There's a lot of benefit from nostril breathing. Right, we're increasing airflow to the body, to arteries, to veins and nerves. We're strengthening the diaphragm when we breathe in and out through the nose. And again, if you're in fight or flight mode, you might notice that you breathe through the mouth quite a bit. And again, we're trying to rewire the brain and the body so that we can make these different connections to move ourselves out of that response and into a healing, a restful, thriving response. Okay. Breath is really the foundation to freedom. Freedom in the body, freedom in the mind. It can help build this connection with our heart, whatever that means for you. Breath is the key to the door of freedom. It all starts and ends with the breath. So if you leave here with anything today, let it be these breath practices. Know that these are practices in the sense that they are designed to be done consistently over a period of time. So be really gentle with yourself as you start to dive into these practices. Let yourself be a beginner. Let yourself be a beginner. Be really compassionate. Okay. So I want you to find a really comfortable place to sit up nice and tall. So again, you've been sitting in the seat for a while. Do you need to check back in with your surroundings? Are there any controllables that you would like to control? Do you need a blanket? Right? How's the lighting? Do you want to change positions? This is a practice in itself, noticing what your needs are and then meeting them. This creates a positive relationship with the body. It's like creating a promise that the body remembers that you're going to keep it safe. And it's a beautiful start to a lifelong relationship of love and compassion. Once you're in that comfortable space, see if you can sit up a little taller. And again, we're not looking to go to 120%, right? A little lengthening, but nothing to force. Here, it might feel good to close the eyes, or it might feel good to leave them open. If the eyes are open, I want you to find one thing in front of you that's not moving, so probably not me. One thing in front of you that you can focus your eyes on. In the same way that we focus our energy on our intention, we let our eyes rest on one thing. We take in a lot of sensation through the eyes, a lot of information. So if you can close down the eyes by either closing them or softening your gaze and focusing on one thing, you're really allowing the body an opportunity to move deeper than taking in information. Right? Mindfulness practices, meditation practices are a time to digest the information that we're taking in. So the more within that practice space that we can limit the information coming in, the better we'll be able to digest. Okay? So find what feels comfortable with the eyes. Whenever you're ready, I want you to just notice your breath. I want you to just notice your breath here. Notice how it feels to breathe in your body in this moment. And maybe you've never brought awareness to your breath, and that's okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to notice the qualities of your breath. Is there a temperature on the nostrils as you breathe? Can you feel the breath moving over the back of the throat? Is there a taste? Maybe a few swallows? Does the chest move as you breathe? Do the ribs move as you breathe? It's okay if they don't. Does the belly move as you breathe? You're just noticing. You're not changing anything. You're just meeting your breath right where it is. Does the breath feel free-flowing? Does it feel constricted anywhere in the chest or in the throat? Or is your nose stuffed? We meet the breath where it is so that we can understand if the practice has actually been beneficial for us. We're getting a baseline. And I love this practice because it moves away from using the practices as something that we do to just make ourselves feel better for that moment. And rather it shifts it into a lifelong practice where we get to observe ourselves, to watch ourselves grow. So now that you've noticed your breath as it is, I'm going to just take a moment to notice if, as you notice the breath, is there any emotions that are coming up for you? Any emotion, frustration, right? They're all welcome. And then when it feels right, I want you to start to take in a fuller, deeper breath. So when you're ready, you're going to draw the breath a little deeper into the body. The belly might expand, the ribs might expand, the chest will lift. And as you exhale, that belly might gently draw in and up, the ribs will deflate, and the chest will drop down. It'll look like this. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, fill the belly, ribs, and chest. Exhale. Take a few more rounds on your own. Breathing full deep breaths at your own time, your own pace. And whenever the mind wanders away from the breath, you just notice and you bring your focus back to the breath. The breath is the anchor. See if you can relax the shoulders a little bit even as you breathe in. Can you relax the jaw a little bit? Let the top and bottom teeth separate. Take 3 more breaths. Wonderful. No matter what you did, it was perfect. We have to start somewhere. Notice how you feel. You don't have to feel anything in particular, but take note, just like you did at the beginning. You checked in with how the breath felt, how you felt in your body. And now after that little bit of breath, notice how you feel. Has there been a change? Maybe yes, maybe no. 3 breaths, 3 of those deep breaths automatically slow the heart rate. Just 3, that's all you need. And the more you do, the better for you. So you are definitely welcome to stay with that 3-part breath. We're going to move into a counting breath next. So remember, if you start with the counting breath and that doesn't feel comfortable, you'll just go back to what does. This is a time dedicated to reminding the body that it's safe enough to relax. Okay? So I want you to make those choices for yourself to pull yourself out of harm or discomfort and into a space of safety, creating that relationship with the body, with the mind, and with the heart. Okay. So this is a 4-6 counting breath. We're going to inhale for 4 and we're going to exhale out for 6. In for 4, out for 6. And I'll lead you through the first couple rounds. So when you're ready, sitting up nice and tall, inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Move on your own now. Count in your mind. The count now with the breath is the anchor. It's the anchor for the mind to focus on. We give the mind something to focus on so it doesn't wander away. Take a few rounds. In for 4. Nice long exhale for 6. As you breathe, see if you can keep the shoulders relaxed, relax the jaw. Take just a few more rounds. Beautiful. And when you're ready, let the breath just settle back into a rhythmic flow and take a moment to just notice how you feel. How do you feel? How do you feel in your physical body? Where is the mind? How does that feel? Are the thoughts moving quickly still? Or does the mind feel a little more calm? And check in with your emotional body. How do you feel? All sensations are welcome. We tell all of our sensations, every part of ourself, come as you are. Beautiful. We'll move into our last breath practice. So again, now you have 2 breath practices in your toolbox. So if we move into this third practice and you're like, this isn't working for me, you're going to come back to what does. You're going to pick from your toolbox and you're going to pick and choose what feels right for you in this moment because you know your body best. Okay? So the next breath is called a 4-7-8 breath. We're going to inhale for the count of 4. We're going to hold the breath for a count of 7. And then you're going to exhale out nice and long for the count of 8. Now, sometimes holding the breath that long or exhaling that long can be a little bit difficult. So if you want to just notice where you are on that spectrum, that's perfect, right? Again, we're just observing where we are. We're getting to know ourselves really honestly. The exhale, right? Sometimes the exhale is a little hard. For those of us who have maybe lived in fight or flight for a while, exhaling out can be a little bit difficult. Inhaling happens a little bit easier. Exhale is associated with grounding. It's associated with feeling connected to the earth and to our body. So just notice here, maybe that's not the case for you. But know that if you notice that the exhale is really short or that's difficult for you, that's okay. It really is just perfect that you're here and you're arriving and you're diving into the practice. Okay. So let's go ahead and find that nice tall seated posture. Take a moment, look around your space if you need to. Notice where you are. Sometimes when I look around and if I'm in a safe space, I give a little bit of a gratitude. Thank you. Gosh, how wonderful it is that I have this space to practice in. Right? What a gift it is to be able to practice in this safe space. And for me, that was such a nice reminder that I wasn't where I was. Right? I'm in a different space now, and I'm just acknowledging it to myself. And that feels really good. Okay. So let's dive in. 4, 7, 8. I'll lead you through the first couple rounds, and then I'll let you practice on your own. When you're ready, inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take a few more rounds on your own. In for 4. Hold for 7. Exhale out nice and long for the count of 8. Relax the shoulders. Relax the jaw. Beautiful. Allow yourself to relax wherever you are and take a moment to notice how you feel. Notice how you feel in your body. How does it feel in the mind? Can you notice your thoughts for a moment? Maybe during the practice you noticed where your mind was wandering off to. And that's a beautiful part of the practice. Many people think that coming into a meditation practice is about having a blank mind. And really, I love to think of like mindfulness, right? The mind is full. It will always be full of thoughts, sensations, visualizations. We're human. The idea is that we don't pay them any attention. And we come back to our focus. And in that case, it was the count and the breath. Those were the anchors for the mind to rest on. We're really learning how to focus. Right? How many of you were told to focus? But how many of you were actually taught to focus? So here we get to finally practice focusing. Okay. So let's just do one last breath before we dive into this meditation. And we'll just take a couple of them, little cleansing breaths. We're going to inhale through the nose, and this time we're going to let it out through the mouth. And I'm going to invite you to let out a sigh with it. Okay, so stimulating, again, the throat, the vagus nerve, humming, singing, all of these can really help to relax the nervous system. So let's just take a deep breath in. Inhale. Last one, inhale. we'll jump right into our meditation here. This is going to be a very simple, brief, guided meditation. So go ahead, close your eyes if it feels good, or find that one spot to focus on. You can sit up, or it might feel good to lay down. Wherever you are, I want you to take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the nose. Now let your breath just settle into a natural rhythmic flow. Notice how you feel in your toes, your feet. You're just noticing your legs, your belly, your ribs, and the chest. Notice your low back, your mid back, your upper back. Notice both arms and shoulders. Can you drop a little heavier? Notice the wrists and the hands, the throat. Gently swallow a few times. Can you relax the face, the back of the head, and the top of the head? Notice your whole body. Nothing to fix, just noticing your whole body on the ground. I want you to take a moment now to notice in your body where you feel soft. Where do you feel soft and relaxed? Maybe it's just a pinky nail. Maybe there's multiple spaces where you feel soft. And I want you to just notice them and breathe into them. Now I want you to take a moment to notice where you feel tight or tense. Where are you still trying to hold yourself up? Maybe it's one small part of the body, maybe it's many. Maybe you're unsure what it is that you're feeling at all. That's okay. Just notice what you notice. Are there spaces where you can feel that there's fear or worry? The belly, the jaw. I want you to breathe there. In the same way that you were breathing into those spaces of softness, I want you to breathe into those spaces of tension or tightness, as if to thank those spaces for keeping you safe. Thank you, thank you, thank you for keeping me safe. Now, I relax. And I want you to affirm that to yourself in your mind, inhaling, I am. Exhale, whole. I am whole. I am enough. I am enough. I am worthy. I am worthy. Take a moment to notice how you feel in your whole body. Take one more deep breath in and a long breath out. Beautiful. If you had the eyes closed, you can gently flutter those eyes open. Take a little circle out in the wrists, the neck, or the shoulders. And welcome yourself back here.
I'm coming back. I'm coming.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you all for joining in wherever you are. This has been such a pleasure and a joy.
Sara, thank you. Thank you for the energy and the sweet spirit that you brought to this experience. Thank you for holding a non-judgmental space and not telling us what to meditate on, but guiding us through the tools that we need in order to meditate. It has truly been an experience. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
And we would like to also thank all of our participants for allowing us to be a part of your journey as you journey on from surviving to thriving. Here at the YWCA Hartford region, we continue to stand on our mission to eliminate racism, empower women, and promote peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. At the YWCA, we encourage you to stand with us on our mission as we continue in this journey. Seek us out on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or Indeed, and feel free to join our team in whichever way you feel and are led to. We are grateful once again for Sara Balkun of Toivo and grateful for this experience that we have held here today. We encourage you to journey on with us for a week without violence, October 18th to the 23rd, till we see each other again. Thank you.